Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Friday, August 12th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Major League Baseball, WNBA, and NFL preseason games. Look ahead to today's and the weekend's games. Major League Soccer will go over the weekend slate, Little League World Series. We will talk about the results from yesterday and look ahead to what's to come. We'll go over the current leaderboard at the Northern Trust. We will look at the NASCAR slate for the weekend, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. All right, we're going to start with Major League Baseball like we usually do in the summertime. We'll go over the results and look ahead to the weekend. Not a lot of games yesterday. Marlins over the Phils 3-0, Guardians over the Tigers 4-3-10, Royals over the White Sox 5-3, Astros over the Rangers 7-3, Rocks over the Cardinals 8-6, D-backs over the Pirates 9-3, Red Sox over the Orioles 4-3, and the Cubs over the Reds 4-2 in the Field of Dreams game. All right, now we look ahead to tonight's games. At 6:30 of the Braves at the Marlins. Jake Odorizzi and Pablo Lopez. The Braves are minus 142. The Marlins are plus 120 over under 7. Over is minus 120. Under's minus 102. Braves minus 1/2 is plus 122. Marlins plus 1/2 is minus 146. We're going with the Marlins at plus 120. They're 49.1% according to ESPN Analytics. Pablo Lopez has been solid throughout the year, although slumping lately. 7 o'clock, Apple TV+. You have the Padres at the Nationals, Mike Clevenger, Corey Abbott. Padres minus 250, Nats plus 205, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Padres minus 1/2 is minus 156, Nats plus 1/2 is plus 130. I do like the Nats run line a little bit, but the Nats are just so bad. I like the over because of how bad their pitching is. Guardians, Blue Jays, Cal Quantrill and Jose Barrios. Blue Jays minus 162, Guardians plus 136, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 102. Guardians plus 1/2 is minus 144, Blue Jays minus 1/2 is plus 120. For this one, I do like the under. Barrios knows the Guardians from his days with the Twins. Quantrill's been okay, so I kind of like the under in this game. Orioles, Rays, Austin Voth, and Corey Kluber. These two teams literally just faced off. Or no, that was Toronto and Baltimore. Tampa minus 148, Orioles plus 126, over under 7.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Orioles plus 1/2 is minus 172. Rays minus 1/2 is plus 142. I like the over. Both these guys have been awful this year that are starting. Tigers, White Sox, Daniel Norris. Oh, I remember him. And Michael Kopech. With Daniel Norris being like a hot prospect. White Sox minus 210, Norris and the Tigers plus 176, over under 8.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 22, White Sox minus 1/2 is minus 102. I don't like the pick, but I'm laying the 1/2 with the White Sox at minus 102. They're 77.2% to win according to ESPN Analytics. And I do like them here to cover the run line. Yankees, Red Sox, Domingo Germán and Nathan Eovaldi. Yankees minus 124, Red Sox plus 106, over under 9.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Yankees minus 1/2 is plus 125, Red Sox plus 1/2 is minus 150. I don't like the pick that I'm going to make. I'm taking the Red Sox at plus 106. My fear is that the Yankees just go out and smash it in my face because they're in a huge slide right now, as we all know. So I think the smart pick is betting against them in theory, but you know that like Monday night, it's going to bite you in the face at some point. So I'm going to take the Red Sox just for it to bite me in the face. Phillies, Mets on Apple TV+, Rangers, Suarez, and Max Scherzer. Mets minus 235, Phillies plus 194, over under 7, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Phil's plus 1.5 is minus 122. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 102. The under just seems like the captain obvious pick. If I'm doing it anyway. Mariners Rangers at 8 o'clock. George Kirby and Josh Spores. Seattle minus 164. Texas plus 138. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Mariners minus 1.5 is even money. Texas plus 1.5 is minus 120. This is about as a mismatch as a matchup predictor and ESPN analytics and betting I've seen. I'm taking Texas plus 138 to win outright. The Mariners have a little bit of a letdown after knocking off the Yankees again. Dodgers Royals, Tony Gonsolin and Daniel Lynch. Dodgers minus 245, Royals 2-1 over under 9 minus 110 each way. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 150. Royals plus 1.5 is plus 125. You can make a case for the over for the Dodgers to go over by themselves or the under for Tony Gonsolin to pitch brilliantly, and I'm going to go with the latter, so under. Athletics, Astros, Adam Oller and Luis Garcia. Astros minus 335, Oakland plus 270, over under 8.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Oakland plus 1.5 is plus 130, Astros minus 1.5 is minus 156. This is a hard one, but I'm going to go with the Oakland first half run line, plus 1.5 at plus 102. 8:15 Brewers Cardinals, Eric Lauer and Jordan Montgomery. Cardinals half game up on Milwaukee right now. They're home favorites, minus 166. Brewers plus 140 over under 7.5. Overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 154. And Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 128. For this one, I'm going to go with the under. 8:30 D-backs Rockies, Zach Davies and Antonio Senzatella. Rocks minus 124, D-backs plus 106, over under 12, minus 110 each way. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 176, Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 142. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. 9:30 Twins Angels, Tyler Mahle and Patrick Sandoval. Twins minus 130, Angels plus 110, over under 8, overs minus 108, unders minus 120. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 128, Angels plus 1.5 is minus 154. I like the over in that game. And 10 o'clock, you have the Pirates at the Giants. They're 10:15. Bryce Wilson and Carlos Rodon. Giants minus 275, Pittsburgh plus 225, over under 7.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Pirates plus 1.5 is plus 105, Giants minus 1.5 is minus 126. I like the over because of how poorly Bryce Wilson has pitched this year. All right, Saturday, doubleheader game 1, 1 o'clock, Braves Marlins, Ian Anderson, Jesus Luzardo. 3 o'clock, Guardians Blue Jays, Tristan McKenzie, Mitch White. 4 o'clock, Orioles Rays, Spencer Watkins, Shane McClanahan. Cubs Reds at 6:30, Adrian Sampson and Graham Ashcraft. 7 o'clock, Padres Nationals, Yu Darvish and Anibal Sanchez. Doubleheader game 2, Braves Marlins, Spencer Strider, we know he's going for Miami. Tigers White Sox, Matt Manning and Lucas Giolito. Dodgers Royals, Andrew Heaney and Brad Keller. Athletics Astros, we don't know who's going for Oakland. And Lance McCullers Jr. making his season debut. Phillies Mets, Aaron Nola and Jacob deGrom. 7:15 Brewers Cardinals, Corbin Burns, Adam Wainwright. On Fox at 7:15 Yankees Red Sox, you have Frankie Montas against Cutter Crawford. Mariners Rangers, Marco Gonzalez, Dane Dunning. 8 o'clock D-backs Rocks, Zach Gallen and Jose Arena. 9 o'clock Pirates Giants, we know who's going for Pittsburgh and Logan Webb's going for San Francisco. And the Twins at the Angels, Dylan Bundy and Reed Detmers. Sunday, 12 o'clock on Peacock, Padres Nationals, Blake Snell and Paolo Espino. 1:30 Guardians Blue Jays, Shane Bieber, Kevin Gausman. Braves Marlins, Charlie Morton and Braxton Garrett. Orioles Rays, Jordan Lyles and Drew Rasmussen. Cubs Reds, Keegan Thompson and Justin Dunn. Phillies, Mets, Zach Wheeler and Chris Bassett. 2 o'clock, Tigers, White Sox, Tyler Alexander and Lance Lynn. Dodgers, Royals, Tyler Anderson and Brady Singer. A's, Astros, Cole Irvin and Christian Javier. 2:15, Brewers, Cardinals, Aaron Ashby, Miles McCullis. 2:30, Mariners, Rangers, Logan Gilbert, Martin Perez. 3 o'clock, D-backs, Rockies, Tommy Henry and Ryan Feltner. 4 o'clock, Pirates, Giants, Zach Thompson and Alex Wood. Twins, Angels, Chris Archer and Tucker Davidson. And Sunday Night Baseball, Yankees at the Red Sox, Jamison Tyone and Michael Wacha. So, I'm curious if that Sunday night game is going to be a K-Rod game or not. I'm going to look. Because we haven't had a K-Rod game in a while. And if there's going to be a K-Rod game, it would make sense. So, let's see here. There's a K-Rod. Yes! We do have a K-Rod telecast on Sunday Night Baseball, so that is good news. All right, WNBA. And by the way, I think that's probably the last K-Rod of the year, unless they do more Yankees-Red Sox games. WNBA, we'll look back on yesterday, look ahead to today and the weekend. Aces over the Sky, 89-78. The Aces, 25-10. Chicago, 25-10. Sun over the Sparks, 93-69. Sun, 24-11. Sparks, 13-22. So we are down to the last 2 days of the regular season. Friday night, 7 o'clock on Facebook, you have the Mystics at the Fever. The Mystics are favored by 11.5, totals 160.5. The Mystics are still playing for seeding in the playoffs for home court. So I'm going to lay the points of the Mystics and the Fever at this point are just tanking. 7:30, you have the Liberty at the Dream. The Liberty are 2.5-point favorites on the road. Totals 161.5. I'm going to lay with New York. New York's just a better team than Atlanta. 9 o'clock on ESPN2, the Storm against the Lynx. The Storm are 1.5-point road favorites. Totals 164.5. I'm taking Minnesota and the home dog. That's Vegas knows. And 10 o'clock NBA TV of the Wings against the Mercury. The Wings are 1.5-point favorites. Totals 163.5. I'm taking the Mercury at home, getting the 1.5 for the same reason. Must win. And then Sunday, the final day of the regular season, 1 o'clock on ABC, you have the Lynx at the Sun. At Blind Point, I think Connecticut serves at home to try to get that 1 seed. 2 o'clock, you have the Dream at the Liberty. I think the Liberty win. They'll be 16-20. 3 o'clock, you have the Fever against the Mystics. The Mystics should get it done at home. So the Mystics will go to 22-14. ABC, Storm Aces. That's a good game for ABC. Aces need the game for the 1 seed. So, give me the Aces. 5 o'clock on Prime Video of the Sky against the Mercury. The Mercury need that game to make the playoffs. I think that they drop it because the Sky also need the game for home court. And at 7 o'clock on NBA TV of the Wings at the Sparks. Are the Sparks eliminated? Yes. But Dallas, they're just locked in that 60. I think Dallas will probably win that game. So Dallas will end up 18-18. So at gunpoint, who do I think will make the clinch the final 2 spots of the playoffs? I'm going to say it's the Lynx and the Liberty. That'll be your last playoff teams. Vegas will be 1. Chicago will be 2. Connecticut will be 3. Seattle. Oh, that's a hard one. I have Washington winning their last 2. And then Connecticut, I have Connecticut winning. But I think the Lynx get in based on like tiebreakers and crap. And then so I think Connecticut will be 3, Mystics 4, Seattle 5, Dallas 6, Liberty 7, Lynx 8. That's my guess for how it's going to shake out. All right, NFL preseason. We had action yesterday. We'll go over all of it and look ahead to everything going on tonight and tomorrow. Giants over the Patriots, 23-21. New York 1-0 in the preseason. New England 0-1. And the Ravens over the Titans, 23-10. The Ravens are 1-0, and Tennessee is 0-1. I apologize. We really don't have time to go over the box scores and all of that. So today, we have 5 games. 6 o'clock NFL Network, you have the Falcons against the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson will play. I'm sure you'll see Marcus Mariota for Atlanta. So Detroit's a 2.5-point favorite. Total's 35.5. I don't know if we'll see Jared Goff, but I do think we will see Marcus Mariota, like I mentioned earlier. But I'm going to lay it with 2.5. I think Aiden Hutchinson will have a big game. 7 o'clock, you have the Browns against the Jaguars. The Browns are 1-point favorites, so it's 36.5. Deshaun Watson starting this game. I'm going to lay the 1 point with the Browns and hold my nose. And I think you'll probably see Trevor Lawrence go for Jacksonville. 7:30 of the Cardinals against the Bengals. The Bengals are 2-point favorites, so it's 31.5. That's a low total. I'll take the over. 7:30 of the Jets against the Eagles. The Eagles are 1.0 favorites, 35.5 is the total. I'm going to lay the 1 with Philadelphia because they have more depth at the quarterback position than the Jets do, although it's close. In 8:30 NFL Network, you have the Packers against the 49ers. The 49ers are 2.5-point favorites, so it's 33.5. Big spot for Trey Lance. Big. I think that he'll play relatively well. And also, this is a spot for Jordan Love. So this is an interesting preseason game for a variety of reasons from a backup quarterback standpoint. But Lance is probably going to be a starter, but these two guys were backups last year. And Lance is probably going to start this year. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 with San Francisco against the Packers. And then a lot of games on Saturday. 1 o'clock on the NFL Network, you have Chiefs-Bears. The Chiefs are laying 1, total 37.5. I'll take the Bears taking the 1. I think Justin Fields will see some time. I don't know. I just have a feeling about the Bears. Panthers-Commanders. Commanders are giving 3, totals 37. Give me Carolina plus the 3. 4 o'clock NFL Network, you have the Colts and the Bills. The Colts are giving 2, totals 35. I'll lay the 2 with Indy. 7 o'clock, you have Seahawks, Steelers. Steelers are favored by 3.5, totals 36. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Pittsburgh. That's high for a preseason game for them, but they have a better quarterback room than Seattle. Dolphins, Buccaneers. Dolphins giving 1.5, totals 31.5. No Brady in this game. I'm going to lay it with Miami. 8 o'clock, you have the Saints against the Texans. The Saints are giving 1, totals 33.5. I'll lay the 1 with New Orleans. 9 o'clock, you have the Cowboys at the Broncos. The Broncos are given 2.5, totals 3.5. I do think Denver probably wins this game, so I'm going to lay the points with Denver. And 10 o'clock, you have the Rams at the Chargers. Potential Super Bowl preview in the preseason. Chargers giving 3.5, totals 29.5. I like the over 29.5. And then one game on Sunday, 4:25 on the NFL Network, you have the Vikings against the Raiders. The Raiders are giving 3.5, total is 34. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Las Vegas against the Vikings. All right, Major League Soccer. We will go over the slate for the weekend. So 6 o'clock on Saturday, you have the Red Bulls against Orlando. Red Bulls, 1 win their last 5. Same for Orlando. I'm just trying to pull up the odds. So Red Bulls minus 145, Orlando plus 340, draw plus 280. For this game, I'm going over 3.5 goals plus 210. 7:30 of Cincinnati against Atlanta. Cincinnati won their last game but lost their previous 4. Atlanta, 2 wins in their last 5, including their last game. Atlanta even money, Cincinnati plus 220, draw plus 250. I'm taking Cincy at home. New England against DC United. New England's minus 175, DC 390, draw 3-1. New England won their last game but winless in the previous 4 before that. DC also has 1 win their last 5 as well. Over 3.5 plus 156 is the pick. Philadelphia is hosting Chicago. Both teams have won 4 of the last 5. Philly, the big win streak snapped last week. Philly's minus 140, Chicago plus 320, draw plus 270. Going over 3.5 goals plus 194 for this game as well. Toronto, Portland. Toronto's minus 125, Portland plus 275, draw plus 280. I'm going over 3.5 in that game as well. 8 o'clock, you have Miami against NYCFC. Miami plus 190, NYCFC plus 120, draw plus 240. I'm taking NYCFC. 9 o'clock, Austin hosting KC. Austin minus 210, KC plus 440, draw plus 330. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 132. Colorado, Columbus. Colorado minus 110, Columbus plus 240, draw plus 250. I'm taking Colorado at home minus 110. Dallas hosting San Jose. Dallas minus 150, San Jose plus 340, draw plus 280. Under 2.5 goals plus 126 is the pick. Houston and CF Montreal. Houston plus 140, Montreal plus 165, draw plus 230. I'm taking Houston at home plus 140. 10 o'clock, LA Galaxy and Vancouver. Galaxy minus 185, Vancouver plus 420, draw 3-1. I'm going over 3.5 goals plus 164. And 10:30, LAFC, winners of 5 straight against Charlotte. LAFC minus 300, Charlotte 6-1, draw 4-1. I'm going over 3.5 plus 142. And then Sunday, 2 games, 9 o'clock, you have Nashville hosting Minnesota. Nashville minus 115, Minnesota plus 280, draw plus 250. I'm taking Nashville. And 10 o'clock, you have Seattle hosting Salt Lake. Seattle minus 125, Salt Lake 3-1, draw plus 250. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 118 for that game. Now move on to Little League World Series regionals. We have some results from yesterday and look ahead to today's. All right, so Great Lakes region ended yesterday as Indiana wins 4-3 to go to Williamsport. So congratulations to Hagerstown, Indiana. New England region. Massachusetts over Maine, 10-1 as Massachusetts goes to Williamsport. So congratulations to Middleborough, Massachusetts. Northwest region. You had Washington over Oregon 3-2 as Washington goes to Williamsport. So congrats go out to Bonnie Lake, Washington. And then some Canada results from yesterday. Prairie's over Alberta 5-2. BC over RMLL 3-2. And Alberta over RMLL 12-5. And now the final. Prairie's BC at 1 p.m. Eastern. I said yesterday, BC's the team to beat in Canada, so I think BC will end up going to Williamsport. All right, now I'm going to look at the rest of today's finals. Metro region, 7 o'clock Eastern, New York and New Jersey. This is a tough one. I know people are just going to say New Jersey, it's meant to be Tom's River, Todd Frazier, past history, yada, yada. But I feel like New Jersey always comes up short in the final every year, and teams like New York and Pennsylvania tend to come through. So I'm going to say New York wins tonight, although the Jersey girl in me hopes she's wrong. So I'm going to say New York wins to go to Williamsport. Massapequa, they're from. Mid-Atlantic final. 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, Delaware and Pennsylvania. Delaware's been really good, but Pennsylvania's had some good moments as well. Their lone loss came in their previous game against Delaware by 1 run, and Pennsylvania went out and killed DC. So I actually do think Pennsylvania is going to come through here and work its way to Williamsport. So I'm going to go with Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, as they'll get a home team in the Little League World Series, in a way. The Midwest region final. And by the way, Philadelphia beat DC 11-0 in the game yesterday in the loser bracket final. Loser bracket final, Iowa over North Dakota 3-2 in the Midwest region. And now the final sets up Missouri and Iowa. These two teams played in the semifinal earlier. Missouri beat Iowa. I just think Missouri's been the single best team in this region, so I think Missouri will get it done, the Midwest region, to go to the Little League World Series. And they are from a town called Webb City. The Mountain region, yesterday in loser bracket final, Nevada over Montana 5-1. And now Nevada is going to take on Utah at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN tonight. So Montana has been easily the best team in this region. I think they're going to get it. Although Utah has been pretty good as well. I think Montana's just been impressive. The 11-0 game over Wyoming. Or not Montana. Utah. I don't know why I just said Montana. I just saw the 11-0 there. They've just been so good. So I'm going to say Utah goes on to the Little League World Series, and they're from Santa Clara, Utah. We talked about the New England region already. Northwest region we did. And I feel like there was one more. Oh, the West region. we still have to go over. We just have a final to talk about. 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. You have Hawaii and Arizona. Two really fun teams to watch. Hawaii's just been megastar, dynamite. They can hit, they can pitch. I don't see how they lose this game. So I'm going with Hawaii to go to Williamsport from Honolulu Little League. So we'll go over the rest of these finals on Monday's show, and we'll predict the Little League World Series as the Little League World Series, by the way, expanding to 20 teams this year. So that's exciting as the thing will get underway Wednesday from Williamsport. Now we'll go over the current leaderboard from the Northern Trust. You have a three-way top right now with a score of 8 under. Saiwoo Kim, JJ Spawn, and C. Thiglia. Tied for 4th with 7 under. Emiliano Grillo, Kyan Cooley, and Seb Straka. Tied for 7th with 6 under. JT Potts and Tony Finau. Dylan McCarthy tied for 10th with 5 under. Trey Merritt, Tyrell Hatton, Sam Burns. Lucas Hodges, Ricky Fowler, Michael Thompson, Ryan Palmer, Lucas Glover, Jason Day, Brian Harmon, and James Hahn. Tied for 21st with 4 under. Trey Mullinax, Max Homa, Taylor Pendrith, Aaron Weiss, Martine Laird, Wyndham Clark, Adam Scott, Mito Pereira, Adam Svensson, Dylan Fratelli, and Joo Hyung Kim. Tied for 32nd with 3 under. Taylor Moore, Chester V, Cam Davis, Victor Hoven, Mackenzie Hughes, Cam Young, Justin Thomas, Maverick McNeely, Cam Smith, Jonathan Vegas, Robert Streb, Adam Putnam, John Rahm, Corey Connors. Tied for 46th with 2 under. Bayo Hostler, Sebastian Munoz, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ryan Henley, Keegan Bradley, Sam Ryder, Joel Dottman, Christian Ziedenhall, Colin Marikawa, Brett Horschel, Xander Schauffele, Shane Lowry, Patrick Cantlay, and Matthias Schwab. Tied for 60th with 1 under. Matthew Neesmith, Brandon Wu, Gary Woodland, Brendan Todd, Mark Leishman, Adam Hadwin, Max McGreevy, Nate Watney, David Lipsky, Patrick Rogers, Brendan Steele, Davis Riley, Keith Mitchell, Kevin Kisner, Rory McIlroy, Aaron Ray, Patton Kazir, Hayden Buckley, Kevin Tway, Kurt Katayama. Oh, by the way, Katayama is in the tie for 79th at even with Grayson Sieg, Jordan Spieth, Kevin Strowman, Russell Knox, Harold Varner III, Seamus Power, Will Zalatoris, Kramer Hickok, Sanjay M, Tyler Duncan. And then I'm going to go through notables for the rest. Tied for 90th with 1 over. Nirban Lahiri, Joaquin Neiman, Alex Molly, Scotty Scheffler, Webb Simpson, Mark Hubbard, Peter Malnati, Matt Kuchar, Scott Stallings, Luke List, Stefan Yeager, Adam Schenk, and Ryan Brem. Tied for 103rd with 2 over. Chris Kirk, Cam Triangle, Callum Tarrant, Taylor Hogue, Chad Ramey, Danny Lee, Justin Rose, Vincent Whaley, Chasen Hadley, and Stuart Sink. Tied for 113th with 3 over. John Ha, Alex Loren, Lucas Herbert, Doug Gim, Cheng Sun Pong. Tied for 118th with 4 over. Sam Piercy, Nate Taylor. And 120th with 6 over is Adam Long. All right. Now move on to NASCAR. They'll be racing from Richmond this weekend. So Xfinity's off. We have Truck and we have Cup on Sunday. So we'll start the Truck Series from Richmond. So this is a good track for trucks, as we know. And my pick to win this race, it's staring right at me, Ben Rhodes, 12-1. I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes to win the Worldwide Express 250. And now the Cup Series, which will be Sunday, 3 o'clock on USA from Richmond. My pick here, this is a hard one, but I'm going to go with Tyler Riddick at 20-1. That's someone I usually don't pick, but I just want to pick somebody that's been racing well for a majority of the year. And so I'll have Tyler Riddick at 20-1 to win the Federated Auto Parts 400 from Richmond. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. Not that much to discuss. So Jimmy Garoppolo is linked to the Browns again, as the Browns will consider trading for Garoppolo if the league decides to increase Deshaun Watson's suspension. So that is interesting news. But I think this was probably a little more interesting. Tom Bowles announces that Tom Brady is to be away from the Buccaneers until after August 20th preseason game for personal reasons. We don't know what's going on. Hopefully everything's okay with Tom. It's unlike Tom to do this. But hopefully all is okay. The Jets signed Dwayne Brown to a 2-year contract after Mekhi Becton's injury, so that was a smart signing by the Jets. They go out and replace Becton with Dwayne Brown. Bobby Thompson predicted on the podcast that Garoppolo was going to get released and signed by a team that whose quarterback got injured. So the Jets pretty much did that strategy except with Becton and Brown. Giants left guard Shane Lemieux did not return to the preseason game due to a toe injury. Hopefully he's okay. Some baseball. Wilson Contreras exited the game against the Reds yesterday after a fall running the bases. And then he came back in the game after he rolled the ankle, which was weird. No Field of Dreams game in 2023, as the league won't return to Iowa next season due to a construction of youth sports complex. So that stinks for the MLB. At least they're getting the London game back. Some basketball news that broke yesterday. The NBA announced a tribute to the late Bill Russell, as number 6 will be the first ever number retired league-wide to honor him. So LeBron will still be able to wear it, as will any active players who already wore or are wearing number 6. And I'm not surprised that they're doing this, because obviously they did the same thing with 42, with the exception of Mariano Rivera. And now that number is retired league-wide. So Tom Izzo at Michigan State to get a contract extension done. He can earn up to $6.2 million a year. That can solidify him as Spartan for life. So good on Michigan State for getting that done. Skylar Diggins-Smith to miss the last 2 regular season games due to personal reasons. So that's not great news, and that hurts their chances to steal one of those last playoff spots. They're in one of those spots right now, but I don't think they can do it without her. I think the Liberty get in, and I think the Lynx get in for the last 2 spots. Some soccer news. Barca sells $103 million in assets as yet another lever has been activated in order to register clubs' new signings with La Liga. So that's very interesting. And some hockey news to close out news and notes. Robin Leonard missed the season after it was determined that he will need hip surgery, as he has no timeline to return. That's brutal for Vegas. That team really kind of started the blowing up process. They traded away Max Pacioretty. They're not going to be a playoff team next year, I don't think. Goalie situation very shaky. They trade away Pacioretty. There's rumors that they might actually trade Eichel again. So that's just unfortunate for Vegas. It was a good run as they had that Stanley Cup appearance and nearly made it again a couple years later. And now their window looks like it has closed. That's really unfortunate for them. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Best bet was a loser. Best bet's been in a major slump for like a month now. After what was an excellent start to the year for best bet. I mean, well, it's a lot harder to bet baseball than it is to bet football and basketball. So, for today, I'm going to go with over 7.5 in Rays Orioles. That is way too low. I think that that is a for sure over. Corey Kluber's been not great. Neither is Austin Voth. I love over 7.5 between the Orioles and the Rays. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to everything going on Monday. Next week, we're going to start the NFL position player rankings. So that's going to be very exciting. And then, obviously, come Monday, we'll have news and notes and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.